Right now, somewhere in your house, there is a door you close without thinking, a room you retreat to when things get loud, a specific chair, a specific corner, a specific spot on the couch that feels like it belongs to you and no one else. You've never questioned why, you just do it. But where did that come from? Most people assume that's just personality, just preference, something about you specifically that makes you want your own space. But the real answer is far stranger. It's not about you at all. It's about a pattern carved into human behavior long before Romania had roads, before it had cities, before it even had a name. Go back to the ancient villages that once stood across the Romanian countryside, centuries before modern borders existed. Archaeologists studying rural settlement patterns in the region have found something almost every single village shared. It wasn't a temple, it wasn't a marketplace, it was a wall. Not a wall to keep enemies out necessarily, a wall to mark where one household ended and another began. You'd think in small, tight-knit communities where everyone knew everyone, where families relied on each other for survival, that walls would matter less, less privacy needed, less separation required. But it was the opposite. The closer people lived together, the more precisely they marked their own boundaries. Every household needed its enclosed yard. Every family needed its own hearth, its own storage, its own space that visitors didn't enter without invitation. Why would people who depended on each other every single day still insist on drawing that line? Anthropologist Robin Dunbar, known for his research into human social group sizes, found that human beings can only maintain meaningful, trusting relationships with a limited number of people, somewhere around 150, before the social cost becomes too high to track. Villages across the Romanian countryside often hovered right around that number. Enough people to form a real community, just few enough that everyone still had to actively manage who was close and who wasn't. That management didn't happen through conversation. It happened through architecture. The wall wasn't hostility, it was a tool. It let people belong to a community without dissolving into it completely. It gave villagers a way to say, without ever saying it out loud, this space is mine, and that space is ours. You do the same thing today and you've probably never noticed it. Think about the last time you moved into a shared house, or a dorm, or even just rearranged a shared office. You didn't ask permission to want your own drawer, your own shelf, your own side of the room. You just claimed it. Quietly, immediately, before anyone had to tell you to. Psychologist Erwin Altman, who studied what researchers call territorial behavior, found that humans mark personal space using small, often unconscious signals: a jacket left on a chair, a mug on a specific side of the desk, a closed door instead of an open one. These aren't decorations, they're boundary markers. The same instinct that built stone walls around Romanian farmhouses now builds itself out of sticky notes and closed laptops. Here's where it gets stranger, though. Those ancient villages weren't just drawing lines to keep people out, they were drawing lines to keep relationships intact. Sociologist Georg Simmel, writing about the nature of social distance, argued that a certain amount of separation is what actually makes closeness sustainable. Without any boundary at all, people don't grow closer, they grow exhausted. Constant, undivided closeness erodes patience faster than distance ever could. That's why the villagers who spent every day working side by side in shared fields still went home each night to walls of their own. It wasn't a contradiction, it was the thing that made the shared fields work in the first place. You feel this even in relationships you love the most, the friend you adore but still need space from after a long trip together, the partner you want to build a life with, but still need a locked bathroom door from occasionally without it meaning anything at all. That's not coldness. That's the same 800-year-old wall just built out of habits instead of stone. Modern architecture even proves how deep this runs. Anthropologist Amos Rappaport, who studied the relationship between culture and the built environment, found that across nearly every documented human society, homes evolve some form of boundary between private and shared space, regardless of climate, wealth, or technology. Whether it's a stone wall in a Carpathian village or a bedroom door in a city apartment, The underlying need is identical, somewhere to be fully yourself before returning to be with everyone else. So when you retreat to your room after a long day with people you genuinely love, when you feel relief closing your bedroom door, even though nothing bad happened, when you claim a chair at a new job on day one without even realizing you did it, you're not being antisocial, you're not overreacting, you're doing something so old that the people who first did it never had a word for privacy at all. They just built it, one wall at a time around every home in every village across the land. The wall was never about keeping people away. It was about making sure that when you came back to them, you had something left to give. You've never questioned why you closed that door. Now you know exactly why.